is me. Oh, hey guys, it is me, Jeannette, aka Sweet Jean, and I'm just coming on live because I still don't have my vlogging camera set up. Um, and so I don't expect a whole lot of people to jump on. However, I am going to keep this up so other people can come and view it. But this is just an update to my endocrinologist visit. Um, I am type 2 diabetic, and so this is just an update on my A1C, which I don't really do a whole lot of information on here in regards to the diabetes because I've always had real good numbers, and I kind of feel like I was pre-diabetic, but they're treating me like I'm diabetic. And the reason is because when I took my blood work last year, I had just had like a biscuit with jelly, and then I had an orange juice. And then my doctor wanted to go ahead. Hi, Simply A. Hi, and Janet Lance. Hello. And so just giving you guys a quick update on my diabetes. And I don't normally touch on here. Great to see you again, looking very beautiful. Thank you. I got up and I went ahead and put some makeup on. I had some energy, so I put some makeup on. Um, Whenever I do have the energy and I'm going to be heading out, I usually try and put makeup on because if I look good, I feel good. And I know it's kind of like a mind thing, but it works for me. And then there are some days where I have to go for appointments and I just don't have the energy after showering to put Ronnie, my best friend is on here. Just giving an update on my A1C. I was just thinking about you today. Oh, thank you, cat lover. So let me touch on my A1C. I was diagnosed a year ago, and when I was diagnosed, my A1C was at 9.2, guys. And like I said, you look fabulous. Thank you. And like I said, I had just had a biscuit with grape jelly, coffee with regular sugar. No, no, not coffee. Orange juice. I had a large orange juice from Bill Miller's, and I went to my doctor's appointment, and then she decided, hi, Shivanji. Hi, Michelle. She decided to run some labs, and so I did my lab work, and then before I left, I was leaving the building, and I see the medical assistant. She kind of looks frantic, and she's walking through the lobby because it's a long hallway with every doctor has their own little lobby, and there's like I don't know how many doctors there, and it's kind of like an airport terminal where it's like a long hallway, and there's one terminal here, one terminal there. You know what I mean? There's like a lot of people. So I see my medical assistant. Hi, I love you, Shadow. Thank you. So I see the medical assistant and she's walking out and she's going through the crowds of people and she looks not frantic, but kind of. And I'm walking out and then she's like waving me down. She's like, Miss Ortiz, Miss Ortiz. And so, I'm like, yes. And she goes, the doctor wants to see you before you leave. And I'm like, oh, okay. Everything okay? And she goes, well, she'll talk to you, in the room. And I said, okay. So I go in the room, and so my doctor, she pulls up the stool next to me and she puts her hand on my knee and she's like, how are you feeling today? And I'm like, normal, I feel fine. My neck hurts, my back hurts, but that's chronic. That's typical from my surgery. But other than that, I feel okay. And she goes, do you feel like hot sweats? Do you feel clammy? Do you feel confused? Um, do you feel faint? And I said, no, I feel fine. And so she's like, well, I just noticed that your labs, I was looking through your labs and I noticed that your A1C is a 9.2 and that's really high. And I'm like, oh, she's, I need you to see an endocrinologist. I think you're diabetic. And so I was like, oh my goodness, another thing to add on the long list of things that's wrong with me. So, I wonder what spiked it up so high. Well, I had a brisket, which is carbs, with grape jelly, which is sugar, and a large orange juice, which we all know how much sugar is in orange juice. And so I just had that for breakfast on my way to the doctor's office, and then she asked for labs. And so I think it just hit me at, they took the lab right at the perfect time when I was spiking at my highest. So I went to go see an endocrinologist, and she was like, okay, yes, your numbers are elevated. Um, and I'm anemic, so the numbers could be off a little bit because anemia can cause the numbers to be lower than what they normally are. Not all the time, but typically is what she says. So she can always trust the number that is showing up on the lab work with someone who's anemic, who has low red blood cells. So, anyways, I had an appointment, and so this was last October, and I've done really good. I think I've lost, I haven't done the numbers, but I'm guessing about 60 or 70 pounds since last October because I cut out all sugar, I cut out all carbs. Like the first half of the year, like the first 6 months from last October, October, November, December, January, February, March. From October to March of this year, I cut everything out. I was like, I cannot control my cancer. My body's just going to do what it's going to do. But for diabetes, at least I could control what I put in my body as far as bringing down my A1C. Hi, Rachel. I'm happy to see you too. So, I cut out carbs, I cut out sugars. I didn't eat, and I'm a big eater, and I love sweets. Like I'll have me a piece of cake, and I'll look at my son's plate, and if he didn't finish his cake, I would eat his piece, because I was too shy to go ask for another piece. Like I'm a big eater. Um, and I love fruit, and every day I had juice. I would have orange juice, grapefruit juice, grape juice, apple juice, prune juice. I mean, I just love fruit juice in general. And now I cut that out. Like I haven't had orange juice in almost a year, except for when I was in the hospital. A couple of weeks ago, they gave me a small little, I think it's 4 ounces of orange juice because you're allowed so many carbs per meal. So, anyways, long story short, I did my lab work on Monday, and my A1C is a 4.9, which is really good. So I had a 9.2, and now it's a 4.9. So she was like, "You're doing great. The metformin that you're on is obviously working." I do have thyroid issues, so I had to. Yes, thank you. I know it's great. It's awesome. So, anything below A1C of a 5.7 is normal, and I have a 4.9, which is great. She was like kind of like not wanting to give me full props because my anemia can cause that number to be on the lower end, but it's still way below, I mean below the normal range. So the normal range and below is 5.7, like I said, and I have a 4.9, so I'm doing really good. And that's that. I kind of like started allowing myself to have like more cheat days. Like I stopped eating tortillas, I stopped eating biscuits, I stopped eating pancakes, Um, I stopped eating potatoes because potatoes, even though it's a vegetable, has a lot of carbs. I stopped eating that. Um, any type of pasta that I would eat, I would purchase the whole grain wheat pasta because pasta has carbs. And then whenever I would have like sandwiches or like a Subway sandwich or a sub sandwich, I would get the whole grain wheat bread. So I was still having, these last 6 months, I kind of loosened up because my numbers are always really good. Like yesterday, my number was a 75, which was a little bit on the low end. Because anything below 80, I start kind of getting shaky and I need to eat something. So yeah, I think I'm pretty happy that my A1C is low, is below the normal. So I'm gonna count that as a small victory. I'm getting emotional because I haven't had good news in such a long time. So this good news is good for me. I mean, I feel great about it because I was able to control it myself. by controlling what I eat and everything. So anyways, in my last video, some of you guys were asking about my P.O. box. And I wanted to make sure that I reinstated it because there was a lapse in not coverage. There was a lapse in um, payment. So I had to go today after my appointment, and I was able to keep the same P.O. box, which it's Jeannette Ortiz. Let me see. Bless your heart. I love you, sis. Thank you. Thank you, Ronnie. Veronica is in the chat, guys. This is my very best friend from like middle school all the way to today. And I love her with all my heart. She's like a sister. And I love her. So anyways, everybody say hi to Ronnie. She's the only one that I could really be so truthful and raw with as far as my emotions, because my family, I don't give them 100% of how I'm feeling because I don't want to upset them and I don't want to scare them. So anyway, so it's Jeannette Ortiz, P.O. Box 27439, San Antonio, Texas 78227. It's in my community tab, and I'm going to go ahead and update, not so you don't have to go scrolling for it. It'll be under my the latest community post. Just give me a couple minutes after I'm off. Let me read some of these. Hi, Storm. Thank you so much for saying hi to my best friend. Anyhow, let me see. Oh, I'm going to be starting a new medication after chemo. It's a bone marrow stimulant, and it's supposed to help boost my white blood cells. So whenever I go to the hospital, they always give me platelets or red blood cells because my red blood cells are always low. They tend to trend on the low end. And then my white blood cells are always low as well. And so I don't know what took her so long, but it is what it is. And so they're going to start me on Neulasta. And basically what that is, it's like a round sticker that they put on your skin, and you go for chemo. And then 24 hours, so the next day, that little sticker has a little injection, and it'll inject the Neulasta medication into my arm or my stomach or my leg or wherever I put that little sticker injection, and then you just peel it off and dispose of it. So I will start that next week. I'm back on my chemo. We're going to keep on with the Enhertu is the name of the chemotherapy that I'm on. We're going to keep on with that because it is working, and I literally can like feel my breast. And these past few years, I always felt that lump, and yes, it kind of would feel like a little bit smaller. I'm shaking. The camera is shaking because I'm shaking. Let me switch hands. Sometimes my hands shake. I think it's the diabetes and the cancer and everything else that's going on with me causes me to shake. Which is crazy because before I had cancer, my sister, she's used to eating like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And like she hadn't eaten, like if she didn't eat like in 2 hours or 3 hours after her last meal, she would be like, look, oh my God, look, I'm shaking. I need to eat. And I would laugh at her and I'm like, you just ate a few hours ago. And now look at me shaking. I tell you, karma, it has a way of coming back to you. As for me, I'm speaking of my own experience. Yesenia, I have put more than 50 pounds due to the medication I'm on. I love food, so thank you for sharing what you do. Thank you. I feel like karma is hitting me, and some people are like, oh, I don't believe in karma, and no, you're not getting karma. You're too sweet of a person, too nice of a person, but any little thing that I've ever thought of anybody that was negative, that I kept to myself because I would dare not say anything out loud. But like my sister, like with the shaking, I would laugh at her because she hadn't eaten for a few hours and she's like, look, I'm shaking. And I'm like, oh my God, you just ate like a few hours ago, you're fine. Or you ate yesterday, you're good. And now I have it. And then I remember when I was in grade school, I know this is a long time ago, and I love to talk. As Ronnie will tell you, I talk a lot. There was this kid named Frank, and there was something wrong with his eye, and every time he ate, he would squint. For every chew, his eye would squint. And well, I had what is it called when half your face goes numb and the nerves don't? I had Bell's palsy like 8, 9 years ago, and so half of my face, all my, I got rid of it. It went away, but I still have lingering side effects, and one of them is that, see how this side is more creased, and this side was I think this was the normal side, and this was the side that was affected. So now when I eat, my eye does the same thing. It squints. And I don't know. There's a whole list of things that I could say. I'm proud of you. Thank you. Hard to make different food choices, but you look amazing. You got this, girl. Thank you. It's not easy. I tell you, it is not easy. But now that I've been on this low carb, low sugar diet for a year, whenever I do have a cheat meal, not a cheat meal, but whenever I have like a cheat snack, like a cookie, like a chocolate chip cookie that's not sugar free and not carb free, like it tastes good at the moment and I'm enjoying it, but within 15 minutes my stomach feels kind of like ugh, and I feel like lethargic and I just want to like sit down. And if I have a cheat meal, like a baked potato with, all the fixings, loaded like a loaded baked potato, it tastes good at the time when I'm eating it, but with all that carb and all that starch or whatever, after 15, 20 minutes after I eat it, again, I don't feel good. I feel lethargic. I like really, literally want to take a nap, even if I had just woken up a few hours prior. So I've learned that about myself. Like, whenever I want something, yeah, it's not used to it anymore. Whenever my Whenever I see something, I'm not like, people can eat in front of me whatever they want. They can have pasta, they can have baked potato, they can have whatever that I can't have. They can have biscuits, cheddar bay biscuits, and I'm to the point where I don't feel sad or upset that I can't have it, or like sometimes I'm like, well, I'll just take half. That can't hurt me. And now I could say no and it doesn't faze me anymore. So I'm good on that. But every once in a while I do like spaghetti. So it just depends. If I have very low A1, if my blood sugar is really low that day or that morning, then I can allow myself to have white toast or wheat toast, or half a pancake with the sugar-free syrup. I think it's Smucker's. Yeah, Smucker's has a sugar-free syrup, maple syrup, and you cannot tell the difference between regular syrup and the sugar-free syrup with Smucker's. Um, I got it on Amazon and it comes like two to a pack. Um, so anyhow, my phone is getting really hot, so it may be turning off pretty soon. So I just wanted to update you on my numbers for the diabetes, the A1C, and I wanted to update you with the PO box because some of you guys had asked about my PO box. So yes, I verbally said it here, but I'm also going to update my community tab. And then I had two direct messages, one on Facebook and one on Instagram. And if you're not following me on Instagram or Twitter, my handle will be down in the description. I'll add it in a few minutes after ending this video. Um, but I got direct messages of people that were like, your story has inspired me. I have an aunt who's going through the same thing, and now listening to you, I know how to confront her without belittling her feelings or making her feel like she'll, like what, like I was helpful to them in one way or another. And a few videos back, I was upset about the fact that I had all these bills and I was having a fundraiser, and they had asked me if I had a GoFundMe, which I don't. But I do have a Cash App and a PayPal, and I'm not asking for anybody. I'm not asking for donations, but this is the information is going to be in the description box for those of you that asked. Um, and the other lady, what did she say? She said, "Oh, she asked me if I had I think it was a GoFundMe. I don't remember, but some type of um link for like money, and I hadn't responded yet. So I'm sorry if you're the one who asked me about buying me a coffee. She was like, "Can I buy you a coffee? Can I buy you a pumpkin spice latte?" Is what you said. So if you want to buy me a coffee, I know you know who you are. The link will be in the description. It's going to be either the Cash App or the PayPal. But like I said, please, please, by no means am I asking you to donate. This is specifically for those who inquired about it. And thank you very much for being a blessing in my life. All of you guys are blessings in my life. Um, you make things easy for me to come on here and talk, even when I'm not feeling well. Of course, there are times where I just cannot pick up the phone, and that I go weeks and weeks. And my friend Veronica will tell you, even she calls me my best friend, and I can't even pick up the phone to talk to her because I'm just so low or not feeling well or tired or in pain. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and end this live video. My phone, I'm outside in my car. I don't have the engine on. You're a blessing in my life, my bestie. Um, I'm in my car. I don't have the AC on because I didn't want that background noise. But there's a lot of noise going on in my house, and the lighting in my bedroom is like kind of dim. It's kind of overcast day. So that's why I came into my car, because it's just better lighting and you can hear me better. But I'm going to go ahead and end this live. And I appreciate all of you guys for being a blessing in my life. If you're not already, please consider subscribing to the channel. Um, and for all you OGs, you know exactly who you are. You're all my sweets. Thank you. Bye. Let me figure this out.